The worst thing that could possibly happen has unfortunately happened. The indecisive purple that Yamaha painted my bike has actually grown on me. And honestly, I never saw that coming. Hence why I made such a fuss about it when I got it. But nevertheless, I'm going to stick to my word and change the MT-09's color. And to do so, I've decided to take the vinyl wrap approach for a number of reasons.
First and foremost, I want to be able to revert it back to stock when I sell it, because nobody likes a bike that has been messed with. Secondly, because this way I can change it again if I don't like the color scheme that I've chosen, or I can change it every other month just for kicks. And lastly, because I do actually have a little bit of experience when it comes to wrapping motorcycles. After all, I wrapped my 2000 Yamaha R1 project bike 2 years ago, and it did turn out quite nicely.
And just like that, the process began. As luck would have it, I'd brimmed the tank just a few days earlier, so there was a fair bit of fuel to siphon out, but not before tasting it first.
It's like stealing my own petrol.
All the road grime was then needed to be removed before the parts were allowed inside, especially the mud god, which had been living up to its name. Spending as much time on the preparation as possible could make all the difference, because wrapping is one of those jobs that if you are going to do it, you may as well do it properly. So everything sticky needed to be removed before the giant sticker could be installed. Off came the tape that protects my tail from the saddlebags, the bubbling tank pad that I've been itching to remove, Yamaha badges, followed by their adhesive, and finally the side plastics that were a nightmare to get underneath. Now, if you're expecting a chrome wrap, exotic tilt shift, or an elaborate purple, then you're going to be disappointed. Because as I said in an earlier video, I've committed to a black and white theme. So along with this 3M gloss white vinyl, I ordered some Knifeless Tape to cut the vinyl along body lines, Isopropyl Alcohol that I diluted down to clean the surface, and I broke out my good old Squeegee, KTM colored heat gun, and a lonely razor blade because it's easier to control without the handle. The night before I officially started, I wrapped the first tailpiece away from the pressure of the camera, and I was reminded of just how tricky wrapping really is. However, seeing a fully gloss white panel got me excited to get the rest started. Now that I knew what process to follow, the second tailpiece was much easier, and I could crudely measure out the vinyl that I would need. With my now 70% cleaning alcohol, I tried to focus on the back of the panel where I knew the edges would overlap, and along with cleaning brilliantly, the alcohol evaporated almost instantly, making life much easier. As is the case with most motorcycle parts, this is a very strange shape. So instead of attempting it in one big piece of vinyl and realizing it wasn't possible for my wrapping abilities, I went straight for the safe two-piece approach, laying Knifeless Tape down to later cut the vinyl perfectly along the body line. And this basically set the tone of the entire wrap job. The lower piece of vinyl was laid down first with relative ease, before the cutting tape could do its job. with a filament in the tape strong enough to slice through the vinyl exactly where you lay it down, while being more accurate and less destructive than me with a blade. Cleaning up the edges is probably the part I struggle with most, but I always assume that if no water or dust can get underneath, then it's good enough. After laying down the next bit of cutting tape, the top layer of vinyl was slightly more challenging, but with a bit of heat and backup from my squeegee, it was persuaded into place. And the cutting tape left a beautifully clean seam. By the end of the day, I had a completed tail section and front mudguard. And by then, it didn't even matter how long it had taken or how many curveballs had been thrown my way, because the finished product was well worth it. Despite the strange shape mudguards always are, they're not usually a part that I struggle with that much. With a solid strategy, they're easy to hide seams behind fork legs or towards the back where no one will ever see them. But this specific mudguard proved to be an absolute menace, with its devil horns and bump on its head. The hours passed by, but piece by piece more white appeared. And although I hadn't wasted any vinyl, which I put down to my measuring technique, I was going through a lot more knifeless tape than I expected. In a way, running out of tape was a good thing. It gave me an extra day to strategize my approach for the tank while I waited for the delivery. And because I was too excited to wait, I even reinstalled the finished pieces. The infamous motorcycle tank is one of the most difficult parts to wrap with their endless curves. But this one's unusual shape and flatter top might actually be slightly easier. I found someone on a forum that had tackled the tank in 3 main pieces and 2 little pieces right in the front corners, which would mainly be covered by the intakes. So I decided to give that approach a try. The corners were a good warm-up, but then came the real pieces, which required the cutting tape to be symmetrical on the tank, and I thought it might be time to employ some real measuring. Big pieces of vinyl are always more challenging, and mean that if you do make a mistake, you waste a lot. Although this 2080 series vinyl is brilliant stuff to work with, I still wasn't 100% sure that the 2 meters I ordered would be enough if I had to redo a section. I tried to keep it slow and steady, and somehow I eventually got to within reach of the knifeless tape, which was all the evidence I needed to prove that the side was indeed possible in a single piece. The most satisfying part is always peeling off the excess vinyl. And once the remaining cutting tape and protective film is removed, you can finally admire the clean line. With the end in sight, I just needed one more piece for the whole bike to be white. I knew removing the fuel cap was going to take longer than it should, after hearing this heart-sinking sound. But with the bolt fished back out, there was still enough time to lay down the last bit of cutting tape, as precisely as possible, because if there's one place seams have to be perfect, it's on the tank. My limited skills made the big piece look rather cumbersome, but I just kept trying to work the vinyl as logically as possible while bunching it up the least I could. And slowly but surely, I coaxed the vinyl to the cutting tape, and that was as far as I needed it to go. To be honest, it seemed too good to be true, and as I cut the bottom section off, and then the right hand side, and finally the left hand side, it all looked far better than I had ever expected. After all this, I was happy to be on the home stretch, and I wasn't upset that my last time working with this vinyl would be cutting the fuel cap hole. This time, I managed not to drop a bolt in the tank as everything started to come back together, to make what I had removed completely unnoticeable. The tank grips that have been waiting around since June finally got to be installed, and hopefully by now, you're starting to see why I went for the black and white theme.
Well, there it is, with a fresh lick of fake paint. And you know what? I absolutely love it.
To be honest, it was never guaranteed to be good with me doing the wrapping. And although a professional might not 100% approve, I am over the moon with how it turned out. Even if there are seams, the tank still looks very clean, and the others are in areas you wouldn't pay much attention to. It's always fun getting a brand new bike, and that's exactly how it feels. The gloss white looks straight from the factory, rather than a cheap job with a tacky color choice. And the gold forks pair nicely with the yellow shock and Pro Taper logos. But anyway, let me know what you think about this color scheme, and if you've tried to wrap anything in the past, and I'll see you on the next ride.